What if you're not meant for it? No matter how many times you try, for some reason you just don't get it. That's the question that I have asked myself a million times. I've asked myself a million times if this is even meant for me. If if I should even be pursuing what I pursue because I'm for some reason not understanding what I'm trying to learn. And it drives me bonkers because I know this is what I want. But for some reason, I just feel like I'm not getting there. But if I'm gonna be honest, it's never been easy for me for practically anything. Um, a little story. I drive a stick, and driving manual is really fun. Don't get me wrong, but it took me forever to finally be able to drive it well. In fact, I think it took me well over a year to really get down the basics. I mean, yeah, I was confident enough that I could drive them. My parents would let me drive on my own. But literally, just 2 months after being by myself on the road, I crashed into a mailbox because I didn't know how to downshift and I was trying to merge into a lane and that guy didn't let me over. And I also wasn't I wasn't yielding to him because I was in the merging lane. So I ran into a mailbox, which was an interesting story. However, the thing that's not the point. The point is that for some reason, it took me a year to like finally understand how to really drive downshifting um, and upshifting, just kind of getting to understand the feel of the car. I have over 70,000 miles of driving manual experience, which is pretty good to be honest. But it's not that's not the point. It's the fact that I learned how to drive a manual. It's no matter how many times like I've wanted to continuously just give up. Even when I was starting to learn, I was wanting to give up over and over and over again. This was even like the very first time I was learning when my dad was bringing me in the parking lot and just told me, all right, put some gas, put the clutch up, and try to balance it out. And for some reason I was starting to get it and then I didn't get it. And it got really tough. And it just made me want to give up over and over and over. I mean, I wanted to get out of the car and just go home. I was so sick and tired of just failing and it was bothering me. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like really struggling. So, as you know, I take 15 credit hours right now, which is the most I've ever taken. And so far I have 3 A's and a B, which is pretty good considering it's my 15 hours. But it's not the classes, it's one class that I'm concerned about. It's my calculus. Growing up, elementary school, I have always struggled with math. From elementary school through college and high school, my teachers would make fun of me for not understanding math. In fact, I wrote a line wrong, and she made fun of me. It was oh man, I wonder what the name is. Hold on. Okay. I'm like curly bracket. It was for the systems of equations, and I couldn't use the curly bracket right. I could barely draw it. I mean, I still struggle with it too now. It's really kind of difficult to draw, to be honest, in my opinion. Um, but she would make fun of me for drawing that in front of the entire class, which was not really nice of her, to be honest. That's something that you really shouldn't do, especially for a student that you're trying to teach. Now, I was a senior and I was basically not even trying, which was one of my other problems that I was dealing with, and I'm kind of now getting better at. Um, but I've always struggled with math. I've never been a math person. I've always been, more artistic, just more sociable. That's something that I was gifted at. And looking at like my brother, who is very mathematical, and he's in linear algebra. He's already done with Calc 1 through 3, differential equations, and he's 18, which is a lot. A lot. Like, it's like amazing considering his age, and he's not even out of high school yet. And so, looking at me as a 21-year-old, um, it's quite embarrassing that I'm on Calculus 1. I failed it in the summer, ironically. But I guess the point that I'm not trying, I guess the point I'm trying to come across here is that I have been struggling with math my entire life, yet I'm still trying. And I feel overwhelmed by it. And I feel stupid half the time because I'm like, why am I not getting it? But it brings up this interesting point. Just because you're not talented or gifted in that subject, it doesn't mean it's meant for you. I want to study physics. That's something I really want to do, and it requires me to be good at math. And if you look behind me, I won't show it. Actually, I'll show you a picture maybe later if I feel like it. Um, of my bookshelf. I have a bunch of mathematics books, a bunch of physics books on my bookshelf in my room. And, I haven't touched them yet because I'm still working on trying to get away from my phone. That's very much an excuse, by the way. But I've gone back. I mean, bring in the story. Let's go back to the summer where I said I failed calculus. Um, my professor told me to change majors because my math is so garbage that it's not worth going back and trying all over again. And I'm just like, man, I just, for some reason, I didn't want to listen to him, and I didn't. And it brings up another story that another professor told me, which I'll get to in a second, where I went all the way back to arithmetic and just started making my way up. And I was taking it was an additional class. So in this fall, I was taking like a a review mathematics class. So it's not even counts as a credit to transferring, or for a university credit for graduation. It's um, it's just like a high school level course, I would suppose. And I went through the start all the way up, and then I couldn't finish it in time because I was doing a bunch of other things. So my professor kept it a little longer during during the winter break, which I spent a lot of the time studying that stuff. So it didn't count towards my grade or anything. I just had access to the course materials that I was working and practicing. And so now I'm at the point where I'm taking pre-calculus algebra and calculus at the same time. I'm retaking that recalc class for a better grade, so it's the calculus. And now I'm doing much better than I did before when I was a calculus at 1 in the summer. I mean, I failed that. I completely failed it. Now, I mean, I'm doing much better, and I'm hoping to see the next test. Hopefully to see I'm doing better than what my first test was. It wasn't that good. It's like a 76. No, yeah, a 76. And which is, not really good. But it's like something like a 60% increase in when I took the first test in the summer, which is embarrassing, but so much better now. But I want to bring this up because I was reminded of this when I was talking about this here. Now, I have another professor that I took a trigonometry course with. Very, very wonderful person. I really like him. He's really smart. He's really kind. he admires he admires me. He says that I'm very tenacious. That most people are not willing to go back and study the beginning and go all the way up, because it's a very humbling experience. You're doing 1 plus 1, or and you're doing inequalities, and doing functions, and I should be doing limits, derivatives, I should be doing matrices and all these other more complex subjects, but you're going all the way back and trying to make sure you fill in the gaps that I missed, which I missed in a lot of elementary school, middle school, and high school, because I didn't pay attention. I was overwhelmed by math, so I didn't really try. But this is not the point I'm trying to bring here, or the story, I should say. Now, he told me a story. Actually, he has a 50-year-old PhD, a student in his class who has a PhD in biology. A PhD in biology, by the way, and he's in Calculus 1. And I asked him, why is he in a Calculus 1 course? He told me that back when he was 21, he was taking Calculus 1, and because his dream was to be a mathematics major. And there was this 50-year-old man in his class too, taking Calc 1, and he was excelling at everything, straight A's. And it was very discouraging to him because he struggled a lot in calculus, in math and all. I mean, it was really hard for him. He was failing, and he ended up giving up and saying that this is not for me. And he changed majors into medicine, and then realized that wasn't going to work out, and he went into biology. And then years later, a ton of regret hit him. A ton of regret that he wished that he went back and did it. Then he heard a story from somebody. I can't remember the name of the person that he mentioned, but he said that anyone can be good at anything as long as you put the work in it. As long as you work hard and you take the time. You don't have to be gifted or talented in this one field to be good at it. It requires work, and oftentimes actually a lot of work. People who work really hard in the field and learning something to be good at something, they end up excelling at the subject than the people who are naturally talented at it. And so that got him to go back to Calculus 1 and restart his entire schooling, where he'd go back to a mathematics major. And he's doing much better now. But it reminded me that, just because I'm not really good at it, or I'm not really talented, or just it doesn't come easy to me, that I'm not meant for it. Actually, often, a lot of times, things that are meant for you are not easy. Because if it was easy for you, then what's the point? I'm really gifted at talking, and I don't want to mean that in a egotistical manner. It's not from my observation, it's from other people who have mentioned to me that, I should go into sales. But I don't want to go into sales, because what I want to do is I want to do physics. I love space. But my mathematics are not the greatest, so I'm having to practice over and over and over and learn these math skills. It's really funny because my cousin, he said that I wasn't going to be able to do engineering, because I was originally going to do engineering, but I switched to physics this semester because I decided, I want to do something that I want to do. He said that I wouldn't be able to do physics or engineering because he thinks that I just wouldn't be good at it because of, who I am, and I wouldn't enjoy it or something. He said I should go into business analytics. Why would I want to go into business analytics? Do I look like the person who wants to do business analytics? Absolutely not. I'm not a person who's interested in business. I don't think business is that interesting, especially going to school for business. To me personally, in my opinion, I feel like a business major is not worthwhile a degree. It's not just like physics or engineering or medicine. Those are, I feel like, are more noble degrees if you're going to go to get a degree. Now, if you're wanting to do a business degree, I'm not saying what you want to do is not noble. Do what you want to do. But from my personal opinion, I just feel like being a business major is not worth my investment. Well, I am going to be so honest. I went off on a tangent. I went off a very long tangent. that, to be honest, just because, you are not talented in a field or a subject that you want to learn doesn't mean it's not meant for you. Like for me, learning how to drive a stick wasn't easy, and learning mathematics, it's still not easy, but I'm getting there. And honestly, that the driving stick is such a good example of struggling somewhere and just pushing through it and learning to the point where you master it is such an encouraging thing for me when I do mathematics, because I might not be good at it now, but if I keep working at it and I keep putting my time in, I may be really good at math someday. And that is an exciting endeavor, which motivates me because I fell through on my goals today. I reinstalled social media and was up till 5 in the morning watching Facebook Reels, which is kind of bizarre. I let that door open, which I shouldn't have. But it's a reminder that, what, life is a process, and no matter what, I just need to keep going. No matter how many times I fall, I need to get up. There's a Bible verse that I have on my wall. I have a couple of stickers on my wall from Bible verses I have on my wall that I, feel like that's right for me, or it's something that sticks out I put on my wall. I feel like I just said wall a million times. Anyways, the Bible verse is, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes." Proverbs 24:16. And to me, that is, no matter how many times that we fall, we need to get up and try again. That's perseverance. We have to go back and we have to work hard. That's tenacity. We need to constantly keep working over and over and over. And that's grit. Those are qualities that we need to have if we want to pursue something. And it's important that we develop those characters, because I feel like I just went on another tangent. Otherwise, we won't be able to reach our goals. We won't be strong, very strong character individuals. We won't have individuals with strong character. It is 3:07. I am exhausted. I have to be up in 2 hours and 53 minutes. But before I end this, I just want to let you know that as someone who's struggling with my goals and my ambitions, you're not alone. It's hard, and just because it's not easy doesn't mean it's meant for you. Doesn't mean it's not meant for you. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not meant for you. Man, my mind is just twisted right now. All right, I'm gonna go to bed, and actually, I'm gonna go eat something because I have barely eaten today. So, I'll make another one of these hopefully soon. So, just stay positive. Don't let that negativity hit you at night and anywhere. Just keep going at it. All right. I love you guys. Good night.